Hey guys, Anna here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today we're in the world of San Sequoia and we are building a 3x1 kind of modern contemporary home. I feel like we have a lot of modern homes in the month of May for this particular month's content, and I don't mind it. I guess I had I guess with a lot of the new DLC, a lot of more modern builds like just fit more naturally with the style of assets that we've received. And this particular build came about from an inspiration of Pinterest. It just very simple. I just, it's off a rectangle and I liked it. It was a one-story build, which, as you guys know, I've been really enjoying lately. Just having those builds that everything's on the one floor and your Sims aren't traveling super far to get to places, and it's just easy. And it also makes for a fairly easy build to create as well. We have given it some dimension and shape in the front there with the creation of the porches and stuff, with the use of platforms and obviously the overlapping kind of almost mid-century type roofing design. I like it. So I've gone in with these half walls to be able to put in these vertical kind of wooden panels. These are from Eco Lifestyle. I love these. I just think that it gave kind of, I don't want to say Scandinavian, but it gives me that vibe. This is a very soft, light-toned, modern home. And it definitely has, at the time I built this, I believe I didn't have the Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies expansion pack. If I did, I would have used it a ton. It would have fit really nicely in this particular build. But yeah, I think I would have built this maybe February, March. It was a while ago, but I really liked it nonetheless. So what I think we do have to move the particular building over a little bit because I think it is very central and there's not much of a backyard. But other than that, I think it's really nice. I've gone in with that kind of concrete sliding we got from Life and Death. I've been using it a lot in all of my modern builds and just went with a contrasting, I think it's some kind of concrete or it's like a stone in the front as a accent piece. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about this particular home. So you walk in and you have this main kind of open area. Directly in front of you, you have a living room, it's fairly small, but it does the job. And then you have a sliding door that leads you out to the backyard, which is quite nice. Around the hall to the right-hand side of the build, you have all of your bedrooms and bathrooms. So you have 3 bedrooms in this home. So you have a female's, infant and child's room, and then just a master bedroom, plus obviously the bathroom. And then on the left-hand side, where you've got this long kind of section, that is all kitchen and dining. So this particular build actually has a decent sized kitchen. It's probably not proportional to the rest of the build. So you've got a massive kitchen but small living room. I think that in hindsight, that's probably something that I would potentially change. I think that it might be a bit too big. But then again, I wanted to fit 3 bedrooms in this particular build. So it had to work. All right, so I've used these modular couches that come with a Dream Home Decorator. I don't use these near enough as I should. I think they're great and they're also quite realistic, I feel. I think a lot of people have quite modular sized couches in their homes because, they might have a theatre room or they might have like a front room or a sitting room and, they're the type of couches that you would often see because obviously they're modular. I have tried to go with more of a light scaled color palette in this particular build. We use, as you can see, blues, yellows, grays, beiges, browns, a lot of browns, just to try to complement that kind of, I guess, modern Scandinavian feel. It is giving a little bit that vibe, which I like. It's very calm in here. These curtains are lovely. So these are from the Desert Luxe kit. And I like them because they kind of look like a sheer curtain. And I think that that just kind of fits that modern vibe. I don't know. When I think of like a heavy, dense curtain, it doesn't look as modern to me. I don't know. You'll have to let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on this floor plan and the layout. And yeah. All right, I actually love this glass and metal bench. This comes from Eco Lifestyle. It pairs really nicely with obviously the front door that's next door to it, but also just like adding in different materials. I believe we use a glass table, well, dining room table. We'll just have to find out. We are moving into the kitchen, and yeah. The kitchen is, of course, all of the Home Chef Hustle stuff pack stuff. Of course, it's one of my favorite modern kitchens. I'm using it in every build at this point. I've done something different in this particular build. I put like in this internal viewing type window. This comes from Eco Lifestyle. I've been using this window a lot, obviously to face the exterior in kitchens. I really like the idea of having kind of like a horizontal window in the kitchen and then putting cabinets either above it or some shelving. I find it looks really good. But I thought that this was a point of difference in this particular build. I like the concept of being able to see what's in the living room from there. It kind of makes you feel like you're a little bit more connected to that space. When of course you're divided because there's a big wall. Okay, so not a glass table, but we are using more Dream Home Decorator. Do I keep the chairs? I'm thinking whether I keep the chairs or not. These are from Jungle Adventure. They're a simple chair. They're like the chair I choose when I don't know what chair to choose. So that could change to something a little bit more modern. I'm not sure. I am just adding a little bit of a accent wall and a backsplash into the kitchen. It is a fairly large kitchen, as I mentioned, but it works. I still think it's quite nice. You have lots of space, and I think I do put, so I put the mixer and I put a kettle. I didn't realize that the kettle swatches from For Rent actually paired well with the swatches that came with Home Chef Hustle. So I kind of like that. It's a good little, nod to that. Obviously, a little bit more of Eco Lifestyle. And then we'll be moving into furnishing this kind of hallway space, I guess. I decided to make a study nook. So you walk in and you have a study nook to obviously the right-hand side of the front door. And I think I put in an easel potentially and a bookcase. Again, I didn't have an overly spacious space, so I wanted to put something like this in because I think I put a computer in all of my houses. Even if it's on a table and it's a laptop, it's just so useful for gameplay. And yeah. Speaking about gameplay, so this particular build is available on the Sims 4 gallery. My gallery ID is Antoinette44. It is in the description below. So if you'd like to download this build and use it in your gameplay, feel free. I've really enjoyed this build. I think that it's great for a small family home, like a small family, sorry. And I have been enjoying lately playing with small households. So yeah, sometimes it's nice just to have a small number of Sims and you can really focus on their storylines. I have decided to put some infant stuff and some like children's toys because, as I mentioned, I believe we do have an infant in this particular build. And I'm just trying to, be realistic in my gameplay. I like to have, in the living room, like toys and whatnot. I remembered the thermostat, which is good. Do I put a burglar alarm? I'm not sure because I'm not sure if this build was built before that update, it might be. So if you do download it and it doesn't have it, you feel free to add it in. There's tons of room for it. I think in this particular build, I wanted to use some of the Storybook Nursery Kit items because I hadn't really used quite a lot of them at this stage. So this was actually a fairly big room for a nursery. So in saying this, I really could have made this a smaller space. But how I've done it is I've made it into, a space for obviously the infant, but as they age, potentially I might put a toddler bed in there as well. I might not. I'm trying to remember what I do. But I use the new dollhouse. I use obviously the new change table, crib. And I've used this kind of hanging piece, this wall hanging piece. I love this. I think I do change the wallpaper in here. I feel like it's not that complimentary. But I love the pairing of the blue and the yellow. It's very sweet. It works quite well. Or do I... Oh, no, sorry. I change it to yellow. The flowers. I think a plain swatch would have been better now looking back onto this. I actually really love the rug that we got with that particular pack, but it's a circle rug. And I feel like I had such a big space. All right, so we have shifted the building over by the looks of it, just to give us a little bit more space. It's not a huge backyard, and it is pathed the majority of it is pathed. Ferns, simple. I didn't want a crazy amount of colour out here. I think that it would pull away from that kind of minimalistic look. I think that is kind of the vibe that I went for as well. That's why I didn't overly clutter the kitchen and the living room space. But yeah, I don't really use these kind of one tile squared grass pieces, but I've used them in this particular build. I thought it was different. And then, of course, we've gone in with our palm trees because that's very on trend to this particular area in San Sequoia. It's in the top left-hand corner of the map in that particular neighborhood. Obviously, I always find this particular lot very strange because they don't have a back fence. Like, I just feel like for safety reasons, I have to put a fence, which I'm pretty sure I do, or at least put some shrubs, just because I feel that it's weird that, it's just open to the water. It's a bit strange. I've gone in with like a ladder type styled planks. I don't know how to describe this staircase, but it's that kind of wooden plank type. Anyway, this front area, I think I just wanted to do a bit of seating, just because we don't have a lot of seating, obviously, in the living room, and the backyard isn't massive. So I wanted to actually utilize this front porch because it is quite spacious and put a couch out here. So this is from the Desert Luxe kit, which is a really good kit to like decorate exteriors with and just kind of have that very modern type feel to it. This chair was quite nice. So that's from For Rent, and it just kind of, I don't know, it gives it a different vibe. Again, different materials and stuff. So I like it. I'm trying to think of what else is left in this particular build. I think we are just furnishing these bits and bobs. We've obviously got another 2 bedrooms to do, and we have the outside. All right, so we're moving in to the child's room. I think, is this my favorite room in the house? I really love this particular room because I love the curtains and the wallpaper. It is such a girly space, and I love that kind of muted mauve tone in the curtains and the wallpaper. We've used a lot of, I think, high school years in this particular bedroom. And I love this wardrobe. I used to use this wardrobe a lot. So I believe this comes from the movie Hangout pack. Or I think And I love that it's worn and it has the floral kind of details. It's that was a pack that had a lot of boho type inspired items in it, and I definitely see that coming through. We've gone in with a desk and a kind of purple chair. I don't think I put too much on this desk because obviously that it's for homework. A toy bin and my favorite freestanding mirror. I love this thing. It's from Jungle Adventure. I use it in every build at this stage. And I think just some posters. I think I kept it really simple in here, but I like it. I love the color scheme of this particular build. Put in a Bluffy or it's a dog version. And that kind of doctor toy. I always forget all of the other toys you can get that are kind of more specific to children. All right, so we have used the rug that I was talking about earlier from the Storybook Nursery Kit. I've sized it up and I really just love that floral pattern. It just gives enough pattern to complement the rest of that particular room. So that's a really lovely bedroom. So yeah. All right, we're moving into the one and only bathroom in this particular build. It's very simplistic, as my bathrooms usually are. I've decided to use some counters and the new plant that comes with the refined living room kit. And I think I've used a lot of the bathroom clutter kit as well. I've been using that a ton since getting it. As mentioned last month, I think. Yeah. I really like it. It's good to be able to use these things. I've done a lot of pack restricted builds this year, so I'm very excited to be able to build other things. We are also planning our June build, so looking into what type of builds, apartments that I want to build for that series. So if you have any ideas, please let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts about what you would like to see here on the channel. All right, we are finally moving into the master bedroom of this particular home. And okay, I think it's coming back to me. This is more, I think it's more masculine in this particular space, which is fine. I like it. Normally my master bedrooms lean very feminine, so I think it's great to have done something different. And I love this little focal wall. So this comes from the Decor to the Max kit. I think I'm saying that wrong, but I love the use of the yellowy gold. We've gone with a bed. I think that's from, is it Discover University potentially? It's not modern, but it fits the color scheme so well. I've gone in with the Modern Luxe kit. And I've just cluttered up the space, put some portraits and high school years. I actually find these rugs from Lovestruck really useful. I use them all the time. I find that, for example, this shade of navy is perfect. It perfectly matches the walls. So I'm really happy with that. All right, so I do decide to add in a fence, and we are now working on the exterior. So we've got a chess table, an easel. What else do we do? I don't think we put in. Right, so I think we're just working on the fencing. As I mentioned, I wanted to. I don't know if I put shrubs. Yeah, I might. Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, so I just put some shrubs. It's not really a fence, but it kind of, in my brain, makes a little bit more sense than having nothing there and that kind of open space out to the water. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know why they decided to do that. I put in a car. I think I do put in some other things like a hopscotch path, and then we've got a bike for the child sim. And I think I add in my favorite, kind of those stoned planters. I love these. These are from Get to Work. Been using them a ton. They just really work for all those kind of modern builds. Put in a bit of gardening stuff. Try to really utilize that space. Oh, so there is a pool. It's a small pool, but I like it. I think that it's okay. It works. It's like a little plunge pool. And I've got like a little Yep, grill and seating area. Yep, very standard to how I normally have it. I think I do, yeah, delete some of that pathing and just make that area a bit bigger, a bit more wider so I can fit in some lounge chairs. Because the gate's there, I have to make sure that it's still functional. Again, I've used this, I think it's the Perfect Patio kind of umbrella table. It's more modern, it's glass, I like it. And I like that pop of orange that's in from those lounge chairs. I think they're really great. All right, so just finalizing the pathing here and make sure there's dirt under all the flowers. And then we'll be moving into the tour. All right, so we're live in game and we're going through for the tour. Just going to fix up some of the touches. Oh, I do have a burglar alarm in this build. Love that. All right, so you walk in and you have this open space. You've got your living room, that study nook. You go through this archway into the dining room and the kitchen. It's a beautiful large kitchen. First bedroom. So you've got that infant's room. Really love the colors in here. The Storybook Nursery kit was something that I used heavily in this particular build. That child's room, which is my favorite room in the house. I just think it has so much personality and fun. It's super soft and girly. The bathroom, I don't have a toddler potty in there, so that's interesting. But you can always add one at that stage. And lastly, the master bedroom. Probably should have put something on that wall, but that's okay. And then the exterior. So you've got that chess table, you've got an entertainer's area, you've got a small like plunge pool, and you've got some kids' play equipment and stuff. And that is the build today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you stayed till the end, thank you. I do appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.